Welcome to the Rewriting Naruto series part 9, a series of videos where I rewrite Naruto making changes to improve the story for my personal taste. This is just part 9 of a very long series, so definitely subscribe so you never miss any future rewrite videos, ring the notification bell so you always know when they come out, and also watch the previous videos from the rewrites so you know what's happening if you haven't already. Like this video to support the channel and the series. The goal is 600 likes for this video. If we get to 600 likes within the first 24 hours, I'll drop the next rewrite within a week. We pick up after Team Guy and Team Kakashi rescued Gaara from the Akatsuki and returned to the Leaf Village. However, we don't begin this rewrite in the Leaf Village. We begin it in the Stone Village. Kurotsuchi is standing on top of a high balcony overlooking her village. She is drinking some hot tea and seems to be thoroughly enjoying it. Akatsuki arrives greeting Kurotsuchi. He says, "So, did you know that the Kazekage was captured by the Akatsuki?" Kurotsuchi gets alarmed. "Really? Apparently he's okay now, but he was very badly hurt. The Sand Village released a statement thanking the Leaf Village for rescuing him. That guy you met before, he was specially thanked by the Kazekage himself in the statement." Kurotsuchi says, excited, "Naruto? That's his name, yeah. Apparently he played a big role in the rescue." Kurotsuchi smiles. "That brings me back." We cut to a flashback of around 2 years ago. Kurotsuchi is jumping around a forest, looking for tracks. She thinks, "I really wish we didn't have to split up to look for those guys. I'm not even a sensory type, I doubt I'll find them anyway. Besides, apparently this forest is huge." We cut to Naruto and Jiraiya training on the side of a river, surrounded by a forest. Naruto is 1 year older than he was in part 1, but much younger than his Shippuden version. Naruto weaves hand signs, points his hands towards the river and says, "Wind style! Gale palm!" The air pops right at the palm of his hands, hitting Naruto, who flies away and lands on the ground. He says, "I'm awful at this, pervy sage." Jiraiya laughs and says, "Well, don't worry, you'll get the hang of it. Transforming your regular chakra into elemental chakra is the hardest part, and you're not used to it, so you're not transforming it fully. That's why it's blowing up in front of you." Naruto tries again and the same thing happens. He gets frustrated. Jiraiya says, "Don't worry, Naruto, this is a lot of trial and error. It's something new for you, so you shouldn't expect to get the hang of it instantly." But Sasuke learned fire style when he was like 8, and he also knows lightning style too. "You're not Sasuke. Some people are able to transform their chakra into their nature transformation easier than others, but it doesn't mean you won't be able to do it. You're already doing it a little, you just have to keep on developing it." Jiraiya senses something. He thinks, "Someone has breached my dome barrier. I better stay put." We cut to Kurotsuchi. She is still looking for tracks jumping around the trees when she starts to hear a muffled explosion sound. That gets her attention and she moves towards that direction. As she gets closer to the sound, she moves very quietly, making sure no one will notice her if someone is there. As she spots the source of the sound, she sees the cause of it. Naruto trying and failing to perform his Gale Palm. The air style is still blowing up on his face and knocking him back. She looks at that and thinks, "Wait, is that Naruto? What is he doing here alone in the middle of the forest?" Kurotsuchi doesn't realize, but her shadow begins to move. Jiraiya quickly erupts out of her shadow behind Kurotsuchi and puts a kunai on her neck, saying, "And who might you be, young miss?" Kurotsuchi freezes, thinking, "I didn't notice him at all. What the hell is going on?" She then says, "I am Kurotsuchi, a shinobi of the Stone Village, on an official mission here." Jiraiya forms a chakra seal on his free hand and touches Kurotsuchi's back. She yelps, and Jiraiya says, "Transformation jutsu release!" Nothing happens. Jiraiya then says, "At least you're not disguised, as far as I can tell." Naruto overhears that commotion and says, "Pervy Sage, where are you? What are you doing?" Jiraiya takes his kunai off Kurotsuchi's neck. Jiraiya and Kurotsuchi emerge from the forest, and as Naruto sees Kurotsuchi, he's very surprised. At first he's taken aback, but then he smiles a warm grin. "Kurotsuchi, it's been a while. I never thought you'd be here." Kurotsuchi, still spooked by Jiraiya, says, "Hey Naruto." Jiraiya says, "You know her, Naruto?" "Yeah, we go way back, pervy sage. I told you not to use that nickname in front of other people, Naruto." Jiraiya says, embarrassed. Kurotsuchi's a little weirded out by that exchange, but she says, "You haven't seen a group of bandits in this forest by any chance, have you?" Naruto and Jiraiya say that they haven't. Jiraiya then says, "What do they look like?" The report says there are about 15 of them. Not ninjas, but they may know ninjutsu. My team was sent here to track them down, but was split up to cover a larger area area. I was sent to cover this entire forest. Naruto is interested. Why did they steal? Well, just a lot of money from a noble in the land of Earth. Pervy Sage! Let's help her, let's go! Don't call me that, Naruto. Also, we shouldn't get involved with the affairs of other villages. But Kurotsuchi is my friend! Besides, she's the granddaughter of the Tsuchikage, so I'm sure any help from us wouldn't be much of a problem, right? Jiraiya thinks, oh, Onoki's granddaughter? I heard through some of my connections she's pretty powerful. If you think about it, letting Naruto get some hands-on experience with some bandits wouldn't be a bad idea. They didn't show up my barrier, so they are either not in the forest or they're not very powerful, so that my barrier doesn't even detect them. Besides, if I leave Naruto with a girl for a while, I can go back to the city and blow up some steam. It's been a while. He then says, alright Naruto, go with her and search for those ruffians. This is your mission for today. I'll go back to the city to do some investigating. Naruto says, yeah, right, investigating. Nevertheless, Naruto is excited about having an actual mission after a good while. Jiraiya says, Naruto, you're only allowed to search for them within this forest. Do not leave it. If you don't find them, just come back to this place and wait for me. Naruto's a little disappointed, but he nods. Jiraiya jumps away, vanishing in the forest. He thinks, my dome barrier covers this entire forest. It only senses powerful chakras and it doesn't give me the exact location. Still, I'll sense right away if someone dangerous enters this forest. This little mission should be good for him. Naruto smiles at Kurotsuchi. Alright, what do we do now? She smiles back and says, we look for them. They begin jumping around the trees looking for signs of tracks or anything that could lead to their location. Naruto uses his shadow clones to cover a larger area of the forest. Kurotsuchi says, if we find them, your shadow clones will be very useful to fight a large crowd. I don't want to kill them, alright? So just restrain them if possible. Alright, Captain. Kurotsuchi is intrigued. Captain? Didn't you become captain last time? I did, but I got promoted into Jonin, so they put me in an elite squad, which I am no longer captain of. Naruto's jaw drops. Jonin? Well, now I feel bad, I'm just a Genin. Kurotsuchi laughs aloud. You're no Genin. You should definitely be a Chunin by now at least. Naruto smiles and says, yeah. When I come back to the village, I'll definitely become one, and then I'll become the Hokage, before you become the Tsuchikage, believe it! Well, I'm already at Jonin, so I definitely got a head start on our little bet. Both of them laugh. Kurotsuchi catches herself. We shouldn't be joking around in the middle of a mission. True, sorry Captain. Kurotsuchi smiles again. You really are funny, you know. Far away from where they're jumping, we see a plant-like being coming out of the ground. Zetsu observes both Naruto and Kurotsuchi jumping around the forest. Black Zetsu says, that Jiraiya is more stupid than I thought to think that the barrier will ever detect us. White Zetsu says, the Kyuubi is unprotected now. This is a great chance, isn't it? Black Zetsu says, yes, we have to send word to the closest member to come and capture the boy. Why don't we just do it ourselves? You've seen that girl fighting before. She's not weak. Besides, if the Kyuubi comes out of the boy, we'll be destroyed. We need someone else. Hours pass and Naruto and Kurotsuchi don't find anything. It's already dark now. Kurotsuchi decides to take a rest in a clearing. She then sets wire traps to make sure no one will be able to come close to them while they're resting. Kurotsuchi then says, so, Naruto, why are you training in this remote forest with that weird old guy? I have to get stronger. Well, that's a generic answer if I've ever heard one. Naruto's expression grows dark. Sasuke deserted the Leaf Village. He is under Orochimaru now. I have to get stronger to bring him back. Kurotsuchi is surprised. I'm sorry to hear that, Naruto. I heard Orochimaru attacked your village and killed your Hokage, but to think Sasuke would work under him? That man is one of the Legendary Three. He's extremely powerful, isn't he? Those Legendary Three are more of a joke than anything else. All Pervy Sage does is sneak into bad houses to peep on naked women. Kurotsuchi opens her eyes wide. Wait, that old man that was training you is Jiraiya, the Toad Sage? Pervy Sage suits him better. Well, that's amazing. You're training under a great shinobi. No doubt because of who your father was. Yeah, you could say that. If he hadn't sealed the Nine Tails in me, I wouldn't be needing Pervy Sage's constant protection. Kurotsuchi is completely taken aback. Naruto, are you a Jinchuriki? Naruto looks at Kurotsuchi defiant. Yeah, are we no longer friends because of that? Kurotsuchi gives Naruto a friendly punch to his shoulder. Idiot. idiot! Of course we are, I was just surprised! I once had a friend that was a Jinchuriki as well. My granddad never liked that we were friends. Wow, really? People usually don't like me because I'm a Jinchuriki. I know you're a cool one, Kurotsuchi. She smiles at Naruto, but with a hint of sadness on her expression. I suppose. Is there anything wrong? My friend, the Jinchuriki, he vanished about a year ago while he was on a mission. He was very strong, but his entire squad was wiped out, and his body was the only one we never found. Naruto's eyes open wide. The Akatsuki! It has to be them. They're an evil organization hunting us down for the tailed beast or something. What? Yeah, and they have really powerful rogue ninjas too. They probably took your friend. What was his name? Roshi. He was the Jinchuriki of the Four Tails. He taught me magma style. I'm sorry. Kurotsuchi looks extremely worried. Will you be okay, Naruto? I mean, if they got Roshi... Don't you worry. I won't die until I become the Hokage. Believe it. Kurotsuchi smiles and says, you saved my life once, Naruto. I'll make sure that my magma style protects you as long as we're together. It's the least I can do. Naruto has a flash of realization. Hey, Kurotsuchi, you're really good at elemental ninjutsu, aren't you? Kurotsuchi seems a little embarrassed, but says, I suppose I am. How do you do it? I'm trying to learn wind style, but I can't really get my chakra to convert into the nature transformation. Well, I don't know wind style, but the technique I used to turn my chakra into fire and earth styles was the same. Tell me, what is it? I just think about the taste of hot tea and how good I feel when I drink it. Naruto is disappointed. That's it? Yeah, it really calms me down so I can concentrate on molding my chakra into the nature transformation. You should try it. But I don't really like hot tea. Well, then think of something else you like to eat. Alright, I guess I'll give it a try. At this point, a Naruto shadow clone arrives at the clearing saying, I found them. Kurotsuchi smiles and says, good job, let's go get them. Naruto's clone guides them until they reach a makeshift camp filled with bandits with one large chest guarded by 5 of them in the center of the camp. Naruto and Kurotsuchi spot and avoid a couple of booby traps as they get closer to the camp. Kurotsuchi says, counting the bandits, I see 29 of them, many more than the report said. Maybe this is their base of operations. Naruto says, we can take them. If we wait for them to fall asleep, we'll catch them off guard. This is a reference to the password Team 7 used in the Forest of Death, and it shows that Naruto learned some stuff from Sasuke as well. Kurotsuchi smiles and says, you definitely think like a shinobi, and I don't really have anything against this plan, but I just think it's kinda boring. What do you mean? I mean that it would be too easy, and these guys already look pretty weak. I say we attack them head on right now. I like that plan, Captain. And what about we make it a bet? Each bandit we capture is worth a point, and whoever gets to the chest first gets 30 points. After we take care of them all, the one who gets more points wins. I like the sound of that. What should we wager though? Naruto thinks and has a brilliant idea. The loser has to buy ramen for the winner. Kurotsuchi is confused by that wager but says, ramen, huh? I guess I can live with that. Alright, you'll attack from the south. I'll attack from the north. What's the starting signal? Well, you'll open with your shadow clones, right? So whenever I hear them forming, I'll just begin my assault as well. Sounds good. We cut to the camp. It's dark. The only sources of light are the fireplaces and torches in the bandit camp and the full moon in the sky. Some bandits are talking to each other about their newest score. That old lady didn't see it coming. 10 million Ryo in that chest. I think I can retire. 40 shadow clones erupt out of the trees surrounding the camp. One bandit says, on your feet, idiots! We're being attacked! The entire force of bandits grab their katanas, chains, and other weapons to face Naruto's small army of shadow clones. The bandits and the clones clash. Naruto's ninja skills are far superior to the bandits, and the clones start taking them down one by one, capturing one bandit after the other. The only bandits that are not engaged with Naruto are the 5 guarding the chest. We cut to the original Naruto. He is not fighting the bandits, but running towards the chest, thinking, where the hell is Kurotsuchi? The 5 bandits that were guarding the chest see Naruto coming their direction and shout, he's after the money! Stop him! They then dash towards the original Naruto, leaving the chest unprotected. Once the guards get midway through their dash, Naruto sees Kurotsuchi coming out of the tree line, running straight towards the chest. Naruto thinks, well, hold on. If she gets the chest, it doesn't matter if I capture every single bandit. She'll get 30 points and I'll get 29. Damn it! She tricked me! Kurotsuchi is looking at Naruto, smiling sheepishly, running towards the chest. Naruto looks at the 5 bandits that are almost about to get to him in a disorganized clutter and says, "Sorry, but I don't have time to waste on you." Naruto produces a shadow clone and starts forming a Rasengan. He then clashes with the 5 incoming guards, dodging their initial blows and swiping his Rasengan, hitting all 5 of them in one fluid motion. The 5 bandits are launched dozens of feet in the opposite direction, completely knocked out. Naruto thinks, "I managed to hit them all with a glancing blow. They shouldn't be dead." He looks at Kurotsuchi, who's standing still now, looking at Naruto with an impressed, even proud look on her face. Naruto smiles back but doesn't waste time. He darts towards the chest. Kurotsuchi was distracted by Naruto's Rasengan display, so she just stands there. She then begins waving hand signs as Naruto gets closer and closer to the chest. One more step and he wins the bet. One more inch, Earth style, mobile core. The ground itself shifts and moves the chest towards Kurotsuchi's direction, leaving Naruto's reach. The earth itself brings the chest to Kurotsuchi, who touches it, looks at Naruto and says, "It seems like I win." "Ah, you rigged the game!" "Yep. I made those rules so that I could take advantage of your initial attack and get to the chest unopposed." Naruto looks embarrassed. "I didn't notice that the number of bandits captured was useless for the final result." Naruto's clones finish pinning down the last bandits in the camp. "Well, I set the rules and you accepted them. Your eagerness was your folly, Naruto. You owe me a round of ramen now." Naruto smiles. "Yeah, hopefully I'll make some money when I come back to the village." Kurotsuchi seems happy. "You definitely will. I mean, you just took down 29 opponents by yourself. You'll definitely succeed on your missions." Naruto looks at the captured bandits. "Yeah, but those guys were kind of pushovers, you know? How did they even steal that money anyway?" Kurotsuchi opens the chest, checking for its content. She says, "Yep, that's definitely the money. Well, those guys were scammers. They didn't actually fight over the money. They just tricked that noble. Well, the mission is settled, and it is a success. I'll have a talk with my granddad to see if he can compensate you as well. After all, I wouldn't have caught them if it wasn't for you." "Wow, that would be good." "Yeah, and that jutsu you used, it was really impressive. It's called Rasengan. My dad created it." Naruto catches himself. "A loser created it." Kurotsuchi laughs. She starts creating stone manacles with her earth style to bind all criminals. "If you could put a clone to watch over each prisoner, that would be most helpful, Naruto." "Got it, Captain." Each bandit is manacled and watched over by one Naruto shadow clone. The prisoners are all rounded up in the center of the clearing where the camp is located, where they can all be watched by Naruto's clones. The original asks Kurotsuchi, "So what now?" Kurotsuchi grabs the scroll, opens it, bites her finger, drawing blood, and then swipes it over the scroll, weaving hand signs and saying, "Summoning Jutsu." A cute red messenger bird appears. Kurotsuchi begins writing on another scroll. She says, "I'll send word to my companions. They'll come here so our squad can more effectively escort the bandits and the money back to the land of Earth. We'll just have to wait for now." She attaches her message to the bird and sends it on its way. Naruto says, "Sounds good. So, what about another game? This time I won't let you trick." Kurotsuchi tackles Naruto, hugging him and dropping him down to the ground with force. Naruto doesn't understand what's happening at all, but then he sees it. A water missile passing just above him, nicking Kurotsuchi's back, who's over Naruto hugging him. The water missile draws blood from her back and shoots by them, impacting right where the prisoners and the shadow clones were clustered. The water missile explodes, instantly killing every single prisoner and dispelling every single shadow clone. The water missile erupts into crimson rain, covering the entire bandit camp. The bodies of the bandits completely mangled. Kurotsuchi and Naruto both look at each other on the ground, their faces almost touching, both horrified at this instant flash of carnage. Another water missile is shot towards their direction. Kurotsuchi sees the position where it was shot from. Naruto sees it as well, coming towards their direction. They are both on the ground, unable to move. Naruto opens his eyes wide in fear. Kurotsuchi weaves hand signs and touches the ground. Earth style, mobile core! The ground around her and Naruto sinks down into the earth, and they avoid the missile that passes just by the opening above them. They hear the impact of the explosion again as it hits the same place. Naruto and Kurotsuchi stand up. She says, "We have to get out of here. I don't think we can escape this, Kurotsuchi." "What is this?" She propels Naruto and herself back towards the surface. When they emerge, they see a massive blue figure holding a gargantuan sword wrapped in bandages. Naruto says, "The Akatsuki." Kisame stares both of them down with a smile. "I heard the QB had insane healing capabilities. I just wanted to put them to the test." Kurotsuchi says, "You'll die here, and now." "I have no quarrel with you. Step aside and I'll grab the Jinchuriki and go." "No chance in hell." "Very well then. Itachi, please don't be mad at me for capturing your tail beast. So unfortunate that you couldn't be here." "Naruto, get ready." Naruto creates a shadow clone and starts forming a Rasengan. Kurotsuchi uses her earth style to surround her fist with stone. Kisame weaves hand signs, spitting water and forming 2 water clones. The original says, "Here we go." The 2 clones rush towards Kurotsuchi and Naruto, who both dash forward as well. Rasengan! Stone Strike! Naruto destroys one clone with his Rasengan and Kurotsuchi destroys the other with her fist. They explode into countless drops of water. The original Kisame weaves hand signs. Water style! Mini killer sharks! The drops of water still in the air surrounding Naruto and Kurotsuchi transform into mini water sharks that attack them both, cutting them and drawing blood. As they begin to swarm Naruto and Kurotsuchi, Kurotsuchi grabs Naruto by the arm and throws him out of the reach of the sharks. Naruto lands and he sees thousands of miniature sharks swarming Kurotsuchi. He screams, "Kurotsuchi!" As the mini sharks hit her, they stop, drawing blood. Kurotsuchi's skin hardened, turning into stone. The mini sharks are unable to do anything against it. She looks at Naruto and says with a smile, "Don't worry, Naruto. I've got a thick skin." She then thinks, "I have to end this quickly. My stone skin consumes a lot of chakra." Kisame weaves hand signs and launches a water shark missile towards Kurotsuchi. She forms hand seals as well, forming a stone wall. The water missile destroys the wall that is able to absorb some of the impact, but the explosion still hits Kurotsuchi. Her stone skin saves her from any serious damage though. "I see you have means of protecting yourself. Well, I have to take the Jinchuriki alive, but no one cares if you die." Kisame darts towards Kurotsuchi, Samehada in hands, ready to swing. Kurotsuchi weaves hand signs as Kisame is about to reach her. She touches the ground saying, "Earth style, mobile core." The ground propels Kurotsuchi upwards, directly above Kisame as he slashes his Samehada, destroying the column Kurotsuchi formed to jump upwards. She forms hand signs again, now midair. "Earth style, pelting darts." The debris of the stone column Kisame destroyed turns into projectiles that bolt towards Kisame in point-blank range. The Akatsuki member uses his Samehada very quickly to block them all, but Kurotsuchi lands with elegance behind Kisame about 30 feet away from him, forming another hand seal. Magma style, scorching ray! A string of lava erupts from her mouth with insane speed, hitting Kisame on the back of the head. Kisame doesn't flinch. Kurotsuchi weaves more hand signs, frustrated with the lack of damage. Magma style, hellish tsunami! A massive wave of lava ejects from Kurotsuchi's mouth now. Kisame turns around, weaving hand signs about to be engulfed by the wave of molten rock. Enough water to flood the entire forest explodes from Kisame, hitting the wave of magma, stopping it and creating a lot of steam that blocks the view for a second. Naruto, who is putting a kunai in his ninja bag, jumps upwards so he doesn't get hit by the massive wave of water that now covers the entire forest, hitting the trees and destroying many of them as well. Only the tallest stick out of the water line at this point, and the rest are completely submerged. Kurotsuchi jumps towards Naruto's direction. They're both standing on the water now. Kisame is nowhere to be seen. Kurotsuchi says, "Naruto, stay close to me." Naruto looks at her and says, "I will," he thinks. "That exchange was so quick I could barely see. I never thought Kurotsuchi was so strong, though I hope the fish guy didn't see what I did." Kurotsuchi, with her skin still layered in stone, thinks, "No one has ever survived a direct hit from my scorching ray, and this guy barely even moved or flinched. The lava tsunami is my strongest attack and it did nothing as well. If things continue like that..." Naruto says, Kurotsuchi, I'll help. He creates almost 100 shadow clones. Naruto, do not engage with your original body, understand? Yeah, don't worry. Pervy Sage taught me how to face these guys if I ever fought them alone. Use my shadow clones to distract and then escape. As Naruto says that, he drops a kunai in the water below him. Kurotsuchi says, exactly. We need to find an opening and get out of here. Dozens of large water sharks erupt from the water's surface. Most clones are immediately destroyed. Kurotsuchi weaves hand signs. Magma style! Scorching rock stream! She spits dozens of magma balls that impact the sharks, which explode as they are turned into steam by the magma. Kurotsuchi pushes Naruto out of the way with force as Kisame comes out of the water right beneath them, striking Kurotsuchi with his Samehada. Kurotsuchi's stone skin cracks as she is sent flying by the force of the impact, kicking on the water due to the power of the blow. When she stops bouncing, she thinks, that attack, it drained a lot of my chakra. What is this? She looks at Kisame. He is standing between Kurotsuchi and Naruto. Kisame reaches for the back of his head. He breaks off the rock that formed on his nape after Kurotsuchi's scorching ray hit him. I gotta say, you're pretty good, Missy. That magma style reminds me a whole lot of the first Jinchuriki I captured. He even was from your village. Kurotsuchi's expression turns into deep anger. You killed Roshi? You killed my master? I didn't kill him. Technically, the extraction did. Naruto begins forming a Rasengan. Kisame weaves hand signs. Too slow again, boy! A water clone surges out of the water behind Naruto and his clone that was helping him form the Rasengan. Kisame's clone kicks Naruto's clone, dispelling it immediately, and forms a water prison around the original, rendering him unable to move or breathe, and the Rasengan fizzles. Kurotsuchi says, let him go. No, I'm afraid he'll suffer the same fate as your master over my dead body. Exactly. 100 Kisame water clones erupt from the water. They all rush towards Kurotsuchi. It doesn't matter how many will come, I'll destroy them all. That won't be necessary. All of his clones that were dashing towards Kurotsuchi explode at once, creating a massive blast that raises a huge column of water. Kurotsuchi is sent flying hundreds of feet into the air, her stone skin disintegrated. Kurotsuchi's wounds are bad. Her entire body is bleeding as she flies through the air, leaving a trail of blood behind her. Her consciousness starting to waver. She thinks, I had to focus all of my remaining chakra into the stone skin to survive. I can't even move anymore. Tears begin forming in her eyes. I'm sorry, Naruto. I couldn't save you. I couldn't repay the favor. I just wish we could have that ramen now. She begins falling down. Naruto watches in shock from within the water prison. Smiling, the original Kisame positions himself where Kurotsuchi will land, preparing a finishing blow with Samehada. We see bubbles coming from the surface of the water 30 feet away from where Kisame is posted. Naruto has a memory flash of Kurotsuchi telling him, the technique I used to learn how to turn my chakra into fire style and earth style was that I just thought about the taste of a good hot tea and how good I felt when I drank it. Think of something you like to eat. We see Naruto's thoughts. He's eating ramen in Ichiraku. Kurotsuchi is almost at Samehada's range. Kisame initiates his lashing motion. Naruto emerges from the water, hand seals formed at the same position those bubbles were hitting the surface. Wind style! Gale palm! Naruto ejects a gust of air from the palm of his hands that hits Kurotsuchi as she's about to be struck down by Samehada. Kisame swings his sword, hitting nothing as Kurotsuchi is propelled into the opposite direction from where Naruto is. Before she hits the water, another Naruto emerges and catches Kurotsuchi. She looks at Naruto with a thankful expression, too weak to say anything. The Naruto who was stuck in the water prison turns into smoke. Kisame thinks, so that was a shadow clone all along? How didn't I see him hiding in the water? Kisame has a memory flash. He remembers a kunai being dropped in the water while he was still in there. Kisame says, so you used the transformation jutsu to make yourself look like a kunai and hide until myself and my clones that I made underwater emerged. I should have suspected something was up with that kunai. When did you use the transformation? When your water clashed with a magma wave, creating all that steam. You didn't see me doing it at all, you totally fell for it. Kisame's clone, who was holding the water prison, blitzes the Naruto who used Gale Palm, punching him, and he turns into smoke. Kisame looks at the Naruto holding Kurotsuchi. Oh no, I didn't fall for it at all. I would have fallen if you used that opportunity to run away, but you came back to save that stupid girl, saving me the trouble of hunting you down. And now I'll capture you and she will die anyway. You were brave, but dumb. Naruto thinks even the QB chakra is useless against this guy. He can just eat it with that creepy sword. Kisame dashes towards Naruto, blitzing him. Naruto can't even attempt a reaction. Kisame swipes his sword, aiming for Kurotsuchi. Rasengan! Jiraiya nails Kisame on the side with a powerful Rasengan that sends ripples all over the surface of the water. Kisame is sent flying away, landing on the water with an explosion that ejects a massive amount of water from the lake that now floods the entire forest. Fear not! The Toad Sage of Mount Myoboku has arrived. Jiraiya, the Gallant. Watch part 10 of the rewrite right here. Subscribe if you haven't already and like this video so we can reach the like goal. Comment below what you think about the start of this original arc, and thanks for watching.